Unit 6 Review Question 39. Multiply the decimals. The procedure we're going to use is outlined here. We're not going to read through it, but you have it there for your reference. We're going to go through this process as we go. So first, look at the factors as if they had no decimals, meaning here we'd multiply 4 times 9. Our result is 36. Then you need to count the number of digits to the right of the decimal point in each of the factors and add the results together. So 1 plus 1 is 2. So here 4 was to the right, here 9 was to the right. Now take the product you found and start with the decimal to the right of the rightmost digit and move it this many places, so 2 places to the left. 1, 2, and this is where the decimal belongs in your answer. So 0.36, and we usually put a 0 as a placeholder for the whole number. Let's look at the next one. Ignoring the decimals, we have 5 times 32, which is 160. You can do that by hand or on the calculator. Okay. Here we have 1 digit to the right of the decimal. Here we also have 1 digit to the right of the decimal, totaling 2 digits that we need to move. So I'm going to put 160 over here. Starting all the way to the right, I'm going to move 2 places to the left. So the decimal lies between the 1 and the 6. So we have 1.60 or just 1.6. Let's look at the next one. Notice we have a negative number. The only way that's going to come into play here is that a negative times a positive is negative. So in the end, our answer is going to be negative. Otherwise, we're just going to multiply them as we have all the other ones. So here, 2.3, we're going to think of that as 23, and this is 4. Okay, just dropping the decimals. 23 times 4 is 92. Now let's count the digits. Here we had 1 digit, here we have 2 digits. So we have a total of 3 place values we need to move from our product. So starting with 92, start to the right and count 1, 2, 3 decimal places. Now notice here there was no number there, but we need that 0 as a placeholder since that's representing the tens place. So our final result, remember our answer was negative, is negative 0.092. And looking at the last one, multiply 6 times 27. Well, that is 120 plus 42, so 162. Okay. Let's count the number of digits. Here we have 1 digit to the right, and here we have 2. So we're going to need to move the decimal place 3 places. So starting all the way to the right, moving 1, 2, 3 places means the decimal point is to the left of the 1. So 0.162. Notice our 2 original factors were both negative, but a negative times a negative is positive, so this is our end result. Let's look at the next problems. In question 40, we're asked to divide the decimals. The process is very similar to multiplying. We're just going to have to switch a few things around for dividing. So they're all listed down here, but we'll just go through the process and work through this as we go. So first, we want to divide 32 by 2. So same thing, pretend there are no decimals, do the division, but you're going to divide instead of multiply. So here our result is 16. Now count the decimals. Here we have 1 decimal, here we have 2 decimals to the right of the decimal point. Instead of adding though for division, we subtract. So 1 minus 2 is negative 1. Okay, so what is that going to mean? How do we move something negative 1 decimal places? Well, remember before, we had 16. If it was positive, we moved to the left. Now that it's negative, it means we're going to move the decimal to the right. So we're going to move the decimal to the right one place, and our final answer is 160. Okay, let's look at the next one. Okay. So first, ignore the decimals. 56 divided by 28 is 2. Here we have 2 digits to the right of the decimal, and here we also have 2 digits to the right. And 2 minus 2 is 0. So that means we move the decimal from 2, where it is right now, 0 places. So our end result is just the number 2. Let's look at the next one. Let's divide 54 by 6. Well, 54 divided by 6 is 9. Okay. Here we have 2 decimal places, and here we have 2 decimal places. So again, the difference is 0, and our end result is 9. We don't move the decimal. Notice in the original problem, we had a negative and a positive. Well, a negative divided by a positive is negative, so our end result is negative 9. Now we have one last problem. We'll think of this as 72 divided by 9. Well, 72 divided by 9 is 8. Now let's count the decimal places. This has 1. This has 1, 2, 3. So 1 minus 3 equals negative 2. So that means we're going to take our 8. Remember, when the result is negative, we're going to move 2 to the right. So 1, 2, which means our final answer is 800. We had signs, so I just wanted to check this. It was a negative divided by a negative, which is positive. So our end result is 800.